They say kindness makes you loved, but what if I told you it often makes you weak? Today, we're ripping the mask off the dark side of generosity, because behind every kind act lurks a brutal truth. The world doesn't always reward kindness, it punishes it. Think about it. Ever offered help only to be quietly resented? Ever bent over backwards for someone just to watch them walk all over you? That's not an accident. It's psychology. It's power. And Machiavelli understood it centuries ago. He knew the more you give, the less they respect you. In this video, I'll expose 5 acts of kindness that don't inspire gratitude. They secretly breed contempt. By the end, you'll see why some of your nicest moves might be sabotaging your influence, draining your authority, and lowering your value in the eyes of others. You'll never look at kindness the same way again. And once you understand this, you'll realize it's not about being cruel. It's about being strategic. So ask yourself, are you respected or just tolerated? Stay with me, because the answer might sting. Kindness. The world tells you it's the highest virtue, the path to love, the currency of friendship, the soul of humanity. But that's a fairy tale. Because when you peel back the layers of society, when you strip away the polite smiles and the Instagram quotes about compassion, what you find is something raw, something savage, something Machiavellian. You find that kindness is often the very thing that erodes respect, weakens authority, and marks you as prey. The truth is brutal. The world doesn't run on kindness. It runs on power, on leverage, on perception. And too often, acts of generosity aren't received as gifts. They're interpreted as weakness. People don't always thank you for being kind. Sometimes, they quietly despise you for it. They look down on you. They lose respect for you. And in the secret corners of their mind, they mark you as expendable. And that's what this script is about. Not the candy-coated fantasy of kindness, but the dark reality behind it. I'm going to show you 5 acts of kindness that don't just fail to earn you respect. They destroy it. These are the behaviors that make people roll their eyes behind your back, that make them feel superior, that silently lower your worth in their eyes. You won't hear this from motivational speakers. You won't hear it from corporate HR, but you will hear it from me. Because we're not here to play nice, we're here to play smart. Let's start with the first one. Doing favors that no one asked for. Sounds harmless, right? You see someone struggling, so you swoop in. You anticipate needs, you bend over backwards, you offer solutions before anyone even opens their mouth. On paper it looks generous, but in reality, it reeks of desperation. Because unsolicited favors almost never land the way you think they will. Here's why. When you give someone something they didn't ask for, you create an unspoken debt they never agreed to. And humans hate debts they didn't choose. Instead of gratitude, they feel pressure. Instead of admiration, they feel manipulated. And here's the kicker. They don't consciously blame themselves for feeling trapped. They blame you. They resent you for putting them in that position. Picture this. You have a coworker who's late on a project. You step in without asking, polish their slides, and send them off. Instead of saying, "Wow, thanks, you saved me," they feel exposed, like you're showing them up, like you're broadcasting their incompetence. They don't respect you for helping. They quietly hate you for it. This is the Machiavellian truth. Respect comes from being needed, not from overextending. When you do too much without being asked, you flip the power dynamic. You're the one chasing validation, while they're the one sitting back, deciding whether to grant it. You look like a servant, not a peer. And no matter how noble your intentions, people rarely respect servants. They use them. Now let's move to the second act of kindness that destroys respect. Constant forgiveness. We're told forgiveness is divine, that turning the other cheek makes us noble. But here's the reality. When you forgive too easily, you don't look noble, you look spineless. Every time you let someone cross a boundary without consequence, you teach them a lesson. And the lesson is simple. Your boundaries mean nothing. Think about it. If someone disrespects you, lies to you, or betrays you, and you wave it off in the name of keeping the peace, what are you really saying? You're saying, you can do this again. I value harmony more than I value my own self-respect. People don't admire that. They exploit it. They push further next time, knowing you'll fold. And once they know you'll fold, your authority evaporates. Machiavelli wrote that it's better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Why? Because fear sets boundaries that love alone cannot. If your kindness takes the form of endless forgiveness, you're not inspiring love. You're inspiring contempt. People will smile in your face, but behind the scenes, they'll mark you as weak. The harsh truth is this. Forgiveness without accountability isn't kindness. It's cowardice dressed up in virtue. And nothing kills respect faster than cowardice. Now let's cut into the third act of kindness that makes people lose respect. Excessive compliments. Compliments are social glue. Used sparingly, they're powerful. But when you flood someone with praise, you don't come across as kind. You come across as fake, needy, even manipulative. People start questioning your motives. Why are they complimenting me so much? Do they want something? Are they insecure? Are they trying to butter me up? Worse, excessive praise dilutes your credibility. If everything is amazing and everyone is brilliant, your words stop meaning anything. And subconsciously, people stop valuing your opinion. They don't see you as a discerning judge of quality. They see you as a people pleaser, desperate for approval. Here's the Machiavellian angle. Praise is only valuable when it's rare, when it's specific, when it feels earned. Overuse it, and it becomes white noise. Worse, it makes you look like you're positioning yourself beneath the person you're praising, as if you're begging for crumbs of validation in return. And no one respects the beggar. The fourth act of kindness that secretly makes people disrespect you. Sacrificing too much of your time. Generosity with time seems noble, but in reality, it's the most dangerous trap. Because when you give away your time too freely, you send a clear message. Your time isn't valuable, and if your time isn't valuable, neither are you. Look around. Who gets respected the most in any group? It's not the one always available, always saying yes, always ready to drop everything. It's the one who guards their time like a treasure chest, who makes people wait, who says no without guilt. Scarcity creates value. Abundance dilutes it. When you sacrifice your time endlessly for others, you don't earn admiration. You breed entitlement. People stop thanking you because they start expecting you. They stop appreciating your sacrifice because it becomes invisible, routine. And once that happens, not only do you lose respect, you lose leverage. In Machiavellian terms, control of time is control of power. The one who dictates when and how their time is spent is the one who sets the rules. The one who hands over their time like candy is the one who gets ruled. Finally, the fifth act of kindness that makes people secretly disrespect you, avoiding confrontation at all costs. You think you're being kind by keeping the peace, by swallowing your grievances, by smoothing over conflict. But in reality, you're killing your own authority. Because when you avoid confrontation, you don't look kind, you look afraid. And fear is blood in the water. People test boundaries. It's human nature. And when you refuse to confront, when you let passive aggression slide, when you let disrespect linger, you teach people that they can do whatever they want without consequence. You become the person they walk all over, the one who never fights back, The one whose kindness is really just fear in disguise. Here's the brutal truth. Confrontation, when done strategically, doesn't destroy relationships, it cements respect. People may not like you in the moment, but they'll recognize that you're someone who doesn't tolerate nonsense. And respect grows from that recognition. Machiavelli understood that ruling without confrontation was impossible. Sometimes you must be ruthless. Sometimes you must call people out. Sometimes you must show teeth. Because a lion that never roars is mistaken for a sheep. And sheep don't command respect. They get slaughtered. Now, you might be thinking, so what? I should just be cold and cruel. Number. That's the lazy interpretation. The deeper point is this: kindness without strategy is weakness. Kindness without boundaries is self-destruction. Kindness without power is invisible. If you want respect, your kindness must be controlled, deliberate, and rare. It must be the velvet glove over the iron fist, not the other way around. It should enhance your power, not replace it. The world respects strength first, kindness second. Get the order wrong and you'll spend your life wondering why people don't appreciate you, why they take advantage, why you're overlooked. But get it right, and you'll wield kindness like a weapon, not a weakness. So remember the 5 acts that breed contempt instead of respect: unsolicited favors, endless forgiveness, excessive compliments, sacrificing too much time, and avoiding confrontation. Each one chips away at your authority. Each one signals weakness. Each one lowers your value in the social hierarchy. The Machiavellian lesson is simple. Kindness is powerful only when it's scarce, calculated, and backed by strength. Otherwise, it's just another way of handing people the knife they'll use to cut you down. And that's just the beginning. Because once you understand how these acts of kindness erode respect, you have a choice. Keep doing them and stay powerless, or flip the script and reclaim control. And in the next part, we're going to go even deeper into the psychology of why people despise these forms of kindness, the hidden resentment they won't admit, and how you can reverse the dynamic to command not just attention, but dominance. The 5 acts of kindness that secretly breed disrespect. Most people will deny them because the truth is uncomfortable. We've been raised on stories, sermons, and slogans that tell us kindness is the highest form of strength. But the evidence is all around you. Look at your own life. Look at the people who give endlessly, forgive endlessly, praise endlessly, sacrifice endlessly, and avoid conflict endlessly. Do they look respected? Do they radiate power? Or do they look drained, ignored, quietly resented, and silently used? Here's what no one wants to admit. Kindness creates a debt. But not all debts are equal. When people choose to owe you, respect grows. When you force people into owing you, resentment festers. The game isn't about eliminating kindness. It's about controlling the kind of debt you create. Machiavelli knew this. It's not about being loved. It's about ensuring that even love strengthens your authority, not weakens it. Let's dig deeper into why each of these kindness traps breeds contempt, and how you can flip them into weapons instead of weaknesses. Start with unsolicited favors. Why do they backfire so hard? Because they strip people of agency. You're basically saying, I know what's best for you. I'll fix your problem without your permission. That feels less like kindness and more like control. Humans hate losing autonomy. Even when your intentions are pure, people subconsciously interpret unsolicited help as dominance disguised as generosity. And here's the paradox. Instead of thanking you, they retaliate in subtle ways. They gossip about you. They dismiss your effort. They quietly distance themselves. The Machiavellian fix: never give without a request. Let people ask. Make them choose to put themselves in your debt. Because when they do, they can't resent you for it. They've already admitted they need you. That's respect. That's leverage. Now forgiveness. Why does endless forgiveness inspire contempt? Because boundaries are the skeleton of respect. Remove the skeleton, and the body collapses. Every act of forgiveness without consequence tells people, I can't enforce my own standards. And when you can't enforce standards, you're not a leader. You're a doormat. But here's the ruthless alternative. Forgive strategically, not immediately, not without consequence. Make forgiveness expensive. Let people sweat. Let them wonder. Let them question whether they'll even get it. And when you finally give it, it will feel like a gift, not a guarantee. They'll respect it because it wasn't cheap. Kindness without cost is worthless. Kindness with conditions is power. Excessive compliments. Why do they erode credibility? Because respect thrives on scarcity. If your praise is everywhere, it means nothing. Think of it like currency. Print too much, and inflation destroys value. Over-compliment, and your words collapse under their own weight. People stop listening, stop caring, stop believing. The Machiavellian pivot. Compliment sparingly, with surgical precision. Compliment things that actually matter, things that are rare, things that align with your goals. That way, when your words land, they land like gold, not like confetti. People don't just hear them, they crave them. And when they crave them, your respect multiplies. Now time. Why does over-sacrificing your time destroy value? Because time is the ultimate resource, the one thing no one can buy more of. When you give it away too freely, you're telling the world, I'm cheap. I don't value myself. And people always take your lead. If you treat your time as worthless, they will too. The ruthless solution? Guard your time like a weapon. Say no often. Make access to you a privilege, not a right. The less available you are, the more respect you command. People respect scarcity. They despise abundance. This is why the busiest people are treated with deference, while the always available are treated with disdain. It's not about actual busyness, it's about perception. And perception is reality. Finally, confrontation. Why does avoiding it kill respect? Because confrontation is the enforcement mechanism of power. Without it, every rule, every boundary, every principle becomes a joke. People test. It's what they do. And when they test, and you don't push back, they mark you as weak. And weakness never inspires respect. It invites attack. The Machiavellian move. Confront selectively, but decisively. Don't pick every battle, but when you pick one, finish it. When you push back hard enough to leave an impression. Not reckless, not emotional, but cold, calculated, undeniable. Do that, and even those who dislike you will respect you. They'll know you're not someone to play with. And respect is more valuable than affection. Now let's step back. What's the bigger lesson here? It's that respect doesn't come from kindness. It comes from power. And kindness can only amplify power once it's already established. Without power, kindness is noise. With power, kindness is music. Look at history. Leaders who ruled by kindness alone were toppled, forgotten, erased. Leaders who wielded kindness strategically, measured doses, backed by authority, became legends. The same applies in your daily life, in your workplace, in your relationships, in your social circles. If you want respect, kindness must be rationed, not spilled. It must be edged with strength, not dripping with desperation. Here's the uncomfortable truth. People don't respect givers. They respect choosers. The person who chooses when and how to give, who makes kindness feel rare, deliberate, and precious. That's the person who earns respect. The giver who floods the world with endless kindness. They don't earn respect. They earn pity, or worse, disdain. This is why Machiavelli's philosophy is still feared today. Because it forces you to abandon illusions and face the cruel reality of human nature. People respect strength before they respect kindness. They follow authority before they follow generosity. They admire boundaries more than they admire forgiveness. So what do you do with this knowledge? You weaponize it. You strip away the 5 acts of kindness that drain your value, and you replace them with 5 acts of strategic generosity that build it. Instead of unsolicited favors, you wait until you're asked, and then you deliver beyond expectation. Instead of endless forgiveness, you make forgiveness costly, conditional, a gift that must be earned. Instead of drowning people in compliments, you give rare, precise words of praise that stick in their minds. Instead of throwing away your time, you make it scarce, guarded, and respected. Instead of running from confrontation, you embrace it when necessary, showing people that your kindness is not weakness. It's a choice. That's how you flip the script. That's how you turn kindness from a liability into an asset. That's how you stop being overlooked, dismissed, and exploited, and start being respected, even feared. But don't mistake this for cruelty. Cruelty is blunt, lazy, unsophisticated. What I'm telling you is far more dangerous. It's strategic, it's calculated, it's ruthless in its awareness of human nature. And once you see the world through this lens, you'll never unsee it. Every act of kindness you give from this point forward will carry weight. Because it won't be endless, it won't be cheap, it won't be desperate. It will be rare, it will be deliberate, it will be powerful. And people will feel that difference. They'll respect it, they'll crave it, and most importantly, they'll respect you. So ask yourself right now, how much of your kindness has been wasted? How many favors went unappreciated? How much forgiveness was taken for granted? How many compliments fell flat? How much of your time was thrown away? How many confrontations did you run from? And most importantly, how much respect did you lose because of it? The answer might hurt, but that pain is the first step to power. Because awareness is the beginning of strategy, and strategy is the beginning of control. You can keep living as the endlessly kind, endlessly forgiving, endlessly available person who no one really respects, or you can evolve into something sharper, smarter, more dangerous. Someone whose kindness is a calculated move, not a reflex. Someone who gives strategically, forgives conditionally, compliments precisely, guards their time ruthlessly, and confronts decisively. Someone who doesn't just hand out kindness like candy, but who wields it like a sword. That's the Machiavellian way. And once you taste it, you'll never go back.